Hello Flosstube, I'm Tanya the Starlit Stitcher, and I want to welcome all of you to my cross stitch channel. That's whether you're a new viewer or if you're a returning subscriber. Thank all of you for clicking on that video and spending your time with me today. Now I am a little bit late and I almost decided to wait until tomorrow to film because things are a little bit chaotic around here, but then I decided, what's new? I'm always a little bit chaotic every week anyway, so we may as well just roll with it. It is what it is. Now, I did work on every single one of my active whips in this last week, so today is kind of like a whip parade, so I hope that the little extra hours of waiting will be worth it for you. And before we get started, just a disclaimer, I do have the little home with me already today because I went and picked her up from school. See my clock up there, it's after school. So if you hear any laughing or whatever in the background, yeah, there you go, that's what's going on. So first up, I did both of my stitch alongs for May. First off was flea market baskets, and so that's what it will look like when it's done. Put that in the basket, honey.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make her my helper. Okay. And here is where it is. Now this month's assignment was really easy. It was just 3 more of these baskets, and boom, 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 knocked that out, and that is done until we head into June. So there we go for flea market baskets.
Yeah.
Okay, put that in there, honey.
Okay.
Okay, so one of the reasons I did not film earlier this morning like I normally do is because yesterday I got my candy shop in the mail, and squirrel, I had to start it, and so of course today I had to finish that block before showing it to you all, so that was one of my reasons on delaying filming, and it just is what it is. But here is where it's at. Woo-hoo.
I like the girl's dress.
So there's the whole thing all together. And there's a close-up on the candy shop right there.
Aww.
Now, I did want to note that when I first got this, I assumed that it was going to go over on this side, right? But it doesn't say anything in here where all that it goes, but I seen on the website that they have it over here, so that's where I put it. If you've already started stitching on this since getting it and you put it over here, I really don't think it matters. They're all the same size anyways, and honestly, in your house, who's going to notice if it's not in the right spot or whatever? Anything goes. So there we go with Nutcracker Village.
Nutcracker Village!
Yay! Okay, so on the flea market baskets, I'm doing that on the called for fabric and flosses. Here on Nutcracker Village, this is an 18 count opalescent raw linen Ada. I got this off of 123 Stitch. And all of the called for flosses, except for I'm not using classic Colorworks Snowball, I'm using DMC White. Put that in there, honey, and this one. Okay, so next up, Log Dog Samplers Pandemic. Now, I've been having a love-hate relationship with this ever since I started, not because of the chart or how big it is or anything like that. It's because of my fabric. I picked a dark fabric for it, and we have been having a lot of rain, a lot of cloudy skies, and so that makes it hard for me to see. So this has been going slower than I'd like it to, but
it's going fast.
here is where it's at.
You didn't want this before.
I'm half a page away from having it halfway done, and I've been working on this for 2 months now. So in the grand scheme of things, that's really not too bad, but once the weather gets better and I have access to better light, I do expect this to go along a lot faster, but this is okay. I mean, look how good this is coming out. This is a 28 count Haunted Lugana by Picture This Plus, and I'm stitching it with just a DMC. It is, oh, of course I did. I forgot the number again. Sorry guys. 3756. So DMC 3756 is what I'm stitching with, 2/2. And those butterflies up there is DMC 647. But this is really big. Yes, you can see my head here compared to all this. It's really big.
It's bigger by your head. Whoa, this one is super
Okay, put it in there nicely. It's bigger than her. It's so funny. Okay, so next up, I have Theresa Koget's Land That I Love. Now, last week when I showed you this, I had just started on the house. I had the roof done and 2 windows of the house and this flower on the border next to it. And, you know, plus all that down to that point. So let me show you where it's at now. Here, put that in there. Ta-da! Oh, it's almost so tall I can't hardly fit it in there. There we go. So yeah, I had just started with these 2 windows. So all of the rest of this house I put in this week, and I brought down the border a little bit more.
Yeah.
So the giant house is going. I mean, it doesn't look that big because I'm kind of far away from the camera right now, but look at this. This thing is massive. Look at how big that it is.
It looks pretty. I love it.
But it's moving along, and the giant house is almost done. Woohoo! So I'm really liking my progress on this. Okay, put this over there nicely, honey.
Ooh, it's bigger by me.
You have the peanut gallery today, guys. Okay, so next up, I had a Heaven and Earth design. This is called Unicorn Poop for Sale. Hang on, I'm not ready, honey. The artist is Sheena Pike. This is a retired chart. I got this before, I got it while it was still available. Stop putting that everywhere. I haven't showed it yet, honey. And that is what it will look like when it's done. Okay, so put this in there nicely. Actually, wait, give it here. I'm not done with it yet. I'm going to talk about it in a little bit. And here is where it's at. Okay, stop it, honey. Leave it right here. So there we go.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
I brought some more of this down over here. What I'm going to have on the rest of this page here, which I've marked off with my clover soluble pen, some more of the hat is going to be coming. There's going to be that purplish flower with some more of the greenery of the hat coming on in this lower half of the page. So you guys should see lots of color next week when I go to show this to you. Because May is going to be all about focusing on this project. Because I didn't want to start a million things for Mania, but I did want to do something a little bit different than my ordinary schedule. Normally I work on this project for just 1 day a week, that's all it got in this last week was just 1 day, because I worked on my stitch-alongs and something else that I meant to show you first, but I forgot to show it to you yet, but I will here in a second. Okay, stop it. I'm not done with it yet. Sorry for the peanut gallery. So, for my different May schedule, I will be working on this at least 5 days a week, trying to push it along. Okay, so put that in the basket, honey. Not this. My goal to do during May on this is I want to push it as far as I can across the sky here up at the top. So you see this big flower here, this leaf here, and this flower, and this little tufts of grass right there. That's what's going to be coming up in the current page that I'm on. There'll be a little bit more of this green on the next page after that, and then after that, it's just straight sky. So my goal for May, and I think is doable, is to get at least all the way across the top of this chart and come back around to around in here. So we are going to see what happens with this project once it becomes my focus. I'm super excited to see how that goes, and I hope you guys are too. So put that in there now, honey, nicely. And last is this Maydear kit. It's just called Unicorn.
And it's made for Addison.
This is going to be for a Christmas gift for one of my nieces. Okay, put that in the thing, honey. And here is where it's at. So I have a little birdie done down in the corner. The unicorn's head is done. This week what I did was I finished the little dragon that's sitting up here, and I started on the wreath. And that is what I did this week on this. I'm going to start calling these 11 count kits my bonus stitching instead of a I'm blind and I can't see stitch project. Because bonus stitching is really what these are for me, because I only stitch on these 11 counts when it's like, you know, the evening and the sun's going down. I can't see, I'm also tired, and so I can't work on what I would normally be stitching on. So I'm just going to start calling these my bonus stitches. And that's where that's at. Okay, put that in there nicely, honey. Okay, so I meant to show you this one first, but you know how that goes. So here it is now. I had a start and a finish on my Bloom Where You're Planted by Lindy Stitches. And this is how it turned out. Now these are not the called for flosses, except for the white. I left that, the B5200 that it calls for. All the other flosses that I used, they are just flosses that I had pulled out from my stash that were left over from other projects. I'll list them down below in the description box. And this frame is just a 5x7 frame from Walmart. It was like $8 or something, but I really liked how this went with it, because this will be sitting on my dresser in my house once, you know, that finally gets here. And
the size was 5x7.
yes, honey, it's a 5x7 frame. And it fit in there pretty good, I think. I'm trying to minimize the glare here, but you know how that goes. And that's how it turned out. I was really excited to stitch this. Like, all of my projects right now are super big. Taking the time and just taking a couple of days to stitch this up real quick, this was a reminder to me that I do like small stuff too. And so this is making me rethink what my 2023 plans might be, because I need to bring out some more of my small stuff like this, because like I said, I do like small stuff too. No, I don't only do big stuff. Okay, that sounded kind of weird, but you guys all know what I mean. But there we go, Bloom Where You Planted. I love this. Okay, put this in there nicely, honey.
We don't want to
Okay, and so before I go, I have a couple more things to show you. So last week I was talking about how I want to take one design out of a chart book and turn that into little ornaments for my mom for her birthday. Well, one for her birthday next month and 3 more for Christmas later this year. And so sometime this month I need to squeeze in this Shar-Pei puppy right there. Now the picture's not very good, but it's the only picture that there is. There isn't one on the inside. I kind of was hoping that there was so I could show it to you better. But it's like 36 by 38, so it's not very big. I think it'll work pretty good for ornament size. So that's what my plan is. So this first month, I'm just going to be stitching as it is, and that will be the cream color. And the other 3 that I want to do for her is red, fawn, and black. So I will have to pick out some colors when I go to do those colors, and they'll make a nice set of 4 for her, I think. Now, my mom is a breeder of Shar-Pei. She's been breeding them for about 30 years now. She loves them, so do I. And it's really hard to find Shar-Pei stuff that either A, she doesn't have already, or B, it doesn't look like the dogs that she has. So that was going to be perfect for her. Now this is, let's see, the Encyclopedia of Puppies by, who are these people? Kooler Design Studio. But yeah, like I said, this picture on the front is not that great, but I've looked through the whole thing, and the charts themselves are really easy to read. So there we go. There's all kinds of, let me hold this closer up so you guys can see the other dogs that are in here too. Because, like, you know, some people have like chihuahuas and others poodles. You know, there's a boxer there, a little Pomeranian.
Hey, that's
A German Shepherd. I mean, there's all kinds of puppies on here, and they're all cute. I just bought it for this one, the Shar-Pei, which I was kind of surprised that it was in there because it's only like, you know, 20 puppies on there or something. And it's not like a super popular breed, but so yeah, sometime this month I will be turning that into a little ornament. And that's all my stitchy stuff for you guys for this week. And I have one last thing to show you because I have the little here. And you know how that goes. When I have the little here and I'm filling, you get artwork bonus. So she wanted you guys to see her rainbow.
Yeah.
Because, you know, someday all this rain and gray sky will go away and we will be at the end of the rainbow. And so there we go. I scratched myself at some point. Isn't that cool? But anyhow, that's all for today. Thank you so much for
My name is Lily.
watching. And I will see you all next time, and I'll be back next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.